Happy day, and today in this video lecture we are going to see about introduction to nanotechnology, which comes under the syllabus of fundamentals of nanoscience. And I'm Dr. Girija from Department of Physics, Dr. N.G.P Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. And in this video lecture, we are going to see the scientific revolution of nanotechnology, the historical milestones and how they did it emerge, and what are the effects of nanosize, the applications and challenges related to the nanotechnology. So as in the scientific revolution, before going into that, we can see what is the definition of nanoscience and technology. So nanotechnology is the science, engineering, and the technology which is conducted at the nanoscale. So nanoscale is about 1 to 100 nanometers. And what is nanoscience and technology? They are the study and application of extremely small things and can be used across all other fields such as chemistry, biology, physics, material science, and engineering. So definitely this nanoscience and technology, they are interdisciplinary in nature. So what is the origin of this nanotechnology? Where did it originate? Okay, so it is definitely from the Richard Feynman's talk at the American Physical Society at the California Institute of Technology in the year 1959, December 29. And his talk was entitled There's Plenty of Room at the Bottom. Okay, and it definitely denotes the manipulations at the nano level. And he gave his talk the plenty of room at the bottom, even when the term nanotechnology was not coined. And Feynman described in this talk how to manipulate and control individual atoms and molecules. A decade later, after the Feynman's talk, Professor Nurio, he coined the term nanotechnology. And during his explorations of ultra precision machining in 1974, and later on in 1981, with the development of scanning tunneling microscope, we can tell the modern nanotechnology began, and it began only when we were able to see individual atoms with the help of STM. The recent leaps in the areas of microscopy. Okay, so we have different types of microscopy available now, and that gave the idea of to the scientists to understand the phenomenon that occur naturally when matter is organized at the nanoscale. Okay, these phenomena are based on these two important properties of nanomaterial. They are the quantum effects and the expanded or the large surface area. So the significance of nanoscale is the properties of the materials, which is different when compared to the bulk material. Okay, so the property of materials, they are different at the nanoscale, and because of these two reasons. Okay, when compared to the same mass of a material produced in larger form, they have a larger surface area, and the behavior of matter at nanoscale can affect the optical, electrical, and other properties like magnetic behavior of materials due to the quantum effect. So we have to remember these two are the major reasons why the property of materials are changing because of large surface area and quantum effects. Then when you come to the generations of nanotechnology, there are four generations of nanotechnology: the passive, active, system of nanosystems, and molecular nanosystems. So what can we understand in a single line? The passive nanotechnology. They are products designed to perform only a single task. So like nanostructured coatings, dispersion of nanoparticles, nanostructured metals, polymers, and ceramics. And when you come back to the active nanotechnology, these are their functionality is evolving only when they are at use or at the real state. That is, the products evolve their functionality such as their structure or state during use. So example, you can see it as self-healing materials, transistors, amplifiers, the targeted drugs and chemicals, and in the energy storage devices. And when we come back to the third point, systems of nanosystems, they refer to complex systems that will produce parts of other nanosystems. And molecular nanosystems refers to the complex structures at molecular level, and they are the current development we look through in the present scenario. And you can relate that to the Richards Feynman's original theory of nanotechnology. The history of nanotechnology and these nanoparticles has been used by humans in the 4th century by the Romans, and they are the most interesting examples of nanotechnology. And even today in the British Museum collection, we see the Lycris cup, which is an outstanding achievement in the glass industry, and it is the famous example of dichroism. And you can see in the picture here the Lycris cup, which exhibits dichroism, and the glass appears green in reflected light and red purple in transmitted light. So this is exhibits the optical property at the nanoscale level. Dichroism glass has different types of glass, that is two colors or the change in color due to the lightening conditions. It appears green in the direct light and red purple when the light shines through the glass. So in 1990, the phenomenon of dichroism could be brought forward by the scientists through the analysis of transmission electron microscope. The observed dichroism is due to the presence of nanoparticles in the range of 50 to 100 nanometer, and X-ray analysis of these nanoparticles revealed the presence of silver and gold alloy, which is in the ratio of 7 is to 3, containing about 10% of copper in the dispersed glass matrix. The gold nanoparticles produce a red color as a result of light absorption at around 520 nanometers. The red purple color is due to the absorption of bigger particles, and the green color is due to the colloidal dispersion of silver particles with size greater than 40 nanometers. So similar effect can be viewed in the medieval church windows, where you can have luminous red and yellow colors due to the fusion of silver and gold nanoparticles in the glass. And here is the picture of the effect of nanoparticles on the colors of the stained glass windows. So these are the windows you can see in the medieval church. Uh, and here you can see the difference when the size and shape is changing. You can find the optical properties also changing. The color of the gold particle is changing. So 25 nanometer and sphere you get red, 50 nanometer and a sphere you get green color, 100 nanometer and a sphere you get orange color for the gold nanoparticles, and if it is a silver nanoparticle, 100 nanometers and sphere shape, you get yellow color. 40 nanometers and a sphere shape, you get a blue color, and 100 nanometers, and if it is a prism shape, you get a red color. Okay, and these are very age-old crafts which has nanoparticles in it. So during the 9th and 17th centuries, glowing, glittering luster ceramic glazes were used in the Islamic world, and later even in Europe, they contained silver or the copper or the other nanoparticles. Italians also employ nanoparticles in creating Renaissance pottery during 16th century. And they were influenced by the Ottoman techniques during the 13th and 18th centuries. Damascus, and it is nothing but the iron carbide, a compound of iron and carbon nanowires and carbon nanotubes. They were used to provide strength or the flexibility, resilience. And the ceramic glaze, so you have a picture here of a pot which is having glaze works done on it, and it is a composite body, and it is found in Iran. Okay, so the ceramic glaze is an impervious layer or coating of a substance which has been fused to a ceramic body through firing. So glaze can serve to color, decorate, or waterproof an item, and it renders the earthenware glazing suitable for holding vessels, sealing, and the inherent porosity of unglazed earthenware. And these colors and material properties were produced hundreds of years ago where they didn't know why these surprising effects are happening. And in 1857, Michael Faraday studied the preparation of and properties of colloidal suspensions using ruby gold. Their unique optical and electronic properties make them one of the most interesting nanoparticles. Faraday demonstrated how gold nanoparticles produce different colored solutions under different certain brightening conditions. So here you can see what is the progression in nanotechnology due to the advancements in nanoscience. So in the left side you can see as the ages change from the 4th century till 1857, the uh, things what had happened. So you can see the colored glass by the Romans in the 4th century, like Chris Cup in the British Museum, and the church windows in the medieval period, and 9th to 17th century, the luster, 16th century, the Renaissance pottery, 13th to 18th century, the Damascus, and in 1950, sorry, in 1857, the ruby experiment done by Michael Faraday, and as the years pass by, uh, due to the advancements in the science, we had the development in technology also starting from 1879, the invention of CRO, then XRD, Raman, and in 1937 SEM, and 1938 TEM, in 69 the XPS, and 1981 STM, and in 1982 the invention of atomic force microscopy. Okay, so we are coming back to the nano-sized effects. Okay, so definitely the nanoparticles, the range is from 1 to 100 nanometers. So when the size changes for a particular material, their properties are also changing, whether be it a solid, liquid, or a gas. So why are these properties changing? And they are related to what? So they are related to the atoms and molecules that make up the substance, the way they are connected to one another by the bonds, that's the chemical bonds, and size is the key factor in all these things. So nano-sized particles, they exhibit different properties than larger particles of the same substance. So how does this property change at the nanoscale under certain conditions? Okay, so what is a property? First we have to know a property describes how a material acts under certain conditions. And these properties, they change at a nanoscale level when compared to their bulk counterpart. So the types of properties include optical, electrical, physical, chemical, and structural, magnetic, etc. So optical, you can give examples like color, transparencies, electrical like conductivity, physical properties like hardness, melting point, chemical like reaction rates, etc. So we see the optical properties, and taking the example of gold. So in the picture, you can see the bulk gold that looks yellow in color, and the nano-sized gold appears red in color. So the particles are so small that the electrons, they are not free to move in the bulk gold. Since the movement is restricted, the particles react differently, and we get a different color for different sizes of gold in the nanometer range. And next one, we go on to look at the electrical properties. And the example we take is the conductivity of nanotubes. Nanotubes are long, thin cylinders of carbon, and they are 100 times stronger than steel, very flexible, and have unique electrical properties. So we know the nanotubes, they exist in different structures, zigzag, armchair, and chiral. And depending on this twist and the number of walls, and the diameter of the tubes, the electrical properties change. So at different scales, what is happening? The dominance of electrical force, electromagnetic forces come into effect. The gravitational forces, they become negligible, and electromagnetic force dominate. Greater is the surface area to volume ratio. Importance of quantum mechanical models come into play. And see, before we take into new materials for studying or analysis and understand their properties, we have to deal with all these factors to understand a material. So once the properties of a material is understood at the nanoscale, we can do some innovations and apply these new materials in different fields or thrust areas for different applications like energy, medicine and drugs, nano biotechnology, nano devices, optical engineering, defense and security, bioengineering, cosmetics, and nano fabrics. So the application of nanoscience leads to the use of new materials and different components into useful products through the help of nanotech. So, what are the challenges existing in the current scenario in the society can be broadly classified into health, energy, and environment. So, using these new nanomaterials or the nanoparticles that are existing, we can apply them into different applications and different products using the technology, and can be made use in biomedical devices, sensors, and in energy related techniques for renewable energy and energy storage devices like the lithium batteries, and in the environment issues related to global warming, carbon dioxide emission, and to tackle the nuclear waste. So the objective of the education or research is to tackle all these areas using nanomaterials, and yes, it is the need of the hour. So in conclusion, in the current video lecture, you would have got an idea on how the nanotechnology emerged, what are the generations um, present, and how it evolved, and what are the effects of nano-sized material, and what are the areas which require focus to the researchers, and what are the challenges present in the society, and you can find solutions for these challenges using the nanomaterials with the help of the knowledge in nanoscience and technology. Hope you all have enjoyed this video lecture. Thank you.